Getting ready for JEE or NEET. Wow, it's a marathon for sure. And let's be honest, the pressure can feel absolutely crushing. It's like you're trying to stay afloat in this huge ocean of books, formulas, and what feels like a million expectations. But what if I told you there's a map? A clear, strategic way to navigate all of it. If you're not in your head right now thinking, yep, that's me, then you are in exactly the right place. Look, we're not here to just dump more generic advice on you. We're here to hand you a simple, but really powerful toolkit to help you take back control. So let's dive in.
All right, first up, let's tackle the biggest beast of them all, time. The goal here is to completely flip the script, stop chasing the clock, and start making the clock work for you. It's time to go from chaos to control.
Okay, so here's the trap that pretty much everyone falls into. Creating that perfect, color-coded, minute-by-minute timetable. It looks great, right? But what happens the first time you fall 15 minutes behind? You feel guilty, you get stressed, and poof, the whole plan just collapses. So let's try a smarter way, a flexible, goal-based plan. Instead of scheduling every single minute, just decide on 3, maybe 4 key things you absolutely must get done today. This way, you get the structure you need without it being so fragile. You build momentum with every task you tick off.
And you know what the non-negotiable foundation of any good plan is? Sleep. Seriously, this number right here, 7 to 8 hours, it's not a suggestion. It's a strategic requirement. It's when your brain actually locks in what you've learned and gets ready for the next day's problem solving. Sacrificing sleep is like trying to run a marathon on a flat tire. You're just not going to get very far.
So you've got your time under control. Fantastic. Now, how do you make sure those study hours actually, count? It's not just about the hours you put in, it's about what you put into the hours. This is where we shift from just working hard to really studying smart.
This right here might be the single biggest game changer for you. So many of us get stuck just passively reading and rereading the theory. But let's be real, the exam isn't going to test how well you read a textbook, right? It tests how well you solve problems. So embrace the 80-20 rule. Spend 80% of your self-study time actively doing problems and only 20% on theory. Go back to the theory only when a problem has you stumped.
And for those super tricky numericals in physics and chemistry, please don't just jump straight into the calculation. That's a recipe for mistakes. Instead, use this 3-step attack. First, just stop and identify the core concept. What's this question really about? Second, formulate it. Write down the equation, list out your variables. And only then, as the very last step, do you solve. This simple, systematic approach will cut down on those silly mistakes like you wouldn't believe.
You know, we're all obsessed with the questions we get right. But your real progress? It's hiding in the ones you get wrong. This quote says it all. Every single time you make a mistake, in a mock test, in practice, wherever, write it down in a notebook. Why did you make it? What's the right way to think about it? Reviewing this notebook every day literally turns your biggest weaknesses into your greatest strengths.
Okay, let's talk about mock tests. For so many people, they're just a source of anxiety. It's time to stop thinking of them as a judgment on you. Start seeing them for what they really are, pure, valuable data. They are your personal diagnostic tool for turning that data into a better rank.
So, you sit down to write a full mock test. How long does it take? 3 hours. Right. Everyone focuses on this number, on how you perform during these 3 hours.
But here's the secret. The most important number isn't 3. It's this one. 4 to 5 hours. That is the absolute minimum amount of time you should spend analyzing that 3-hour test. If you're not doing that, you're basically leaving free marks on the table.
And this is how you do that analysis properly. Don't just glance at the score. You have to categorize every single mistake. Was it a silly mistake, like a calculation error? Or was it a conceptual mistake, moment where you just didn't get the topic? Sure, fixing silly mistakes helps, but finding and destroying those conceptual gaps, well, that's how you make those huge jumps in your score.
Look, you can have the best strategies, the perfect schedule, all of it. But if your head isn't in the game, it's all for nothing. Your mental well-being isn't some luxury you get to after you study. It is a core, essential part of your prep. Your mind is your greatest asset, period.
Let's be real. It is so easy to see a friend's mock test score and just feel your heart sink. But that comparison game, it will rob you of your motivation and your peace of mind. Your race is with you and you alone. The only thing that matters is your own personal best. Are you a little bit better today than you were yesterday? That is the only question you ever need to ask yourself.
Burnout is so real, and it can completely derail months of hard work, so you need your own anti-burnout kit. Here are a few things to put in it. Take short, active breaks. Get up, walk around, listen to a song. It's way better than scrolling. Learn a simple breathing exercise to calm your nerves, and please break that giant one-year goal into tiny weekly wins. Each little victory gives you the fuel to keep going.
All right, let's get tactical. I want to give you a few quick-fire, high-impact strategies for some of the challenges you're probably facing right now. Think of these as your targeted attack plans.
Do you have that one subject that just gives you nightmares? Don't try to master the whole thing at once. That's just overwhelming. Use the weak subject fix. Give it about 50% more of your study time. But, and this is the key, start only with the high-weightage, easier chapters. You need to build some confidence and score some easy wins. That momentum will carry you through the tougher stuff later.
And for anyone battling the beast that is organic chemistry, stop trying to just memorize everything. Please, it's a losing battle. Instead, start creating concept maps so you can actually see the connections. Write out the reactions by hand, over and over, and group them in a way that makes sense. Put all the reactions using the same reagent together, for example. You'll go from just memorizing to actually understanding.
So, I know we've covered a lot, but it all comes down to simple, consistent actions. Here's your path forward. Today, I want you to ditch that rigid timetable and try a goal-based one. This week, when you take a mock test, commit to that deep 4-hour analysis. This month, make reviewing your mistake notebook a daily habit. And for the rest of this year, remember, the only person you're competing against is the person you were yesterday.
We've gone through a bunch of strategies, but none of them mean anything if you don't take action. So, as we wrap this up, I want you to ask yourself one simple question. Forget about everything else for a second. What is the one small thing from all of this that you are going to start doing, not tomorrow, not next week, but today to take back control? Because that's where this whole journey really begins.